Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be discussing the reasons why your gray hair may be yellowing and what you can do about it. I know that this is one of the main concerns people have when it comes to gray hair. I belong to a couple of different Facebook groups, and people are always asking, why is my gray hair yellowing? And it's a really hard question to answer because there's so many reasons why your gray hair is yellowing. So you kind of have to start doing some investigation as to why in particular your hair is yellowing. I know a common response is actually offering how to combat the yellowing, and that is important. But another thing that's important is trying to determine what's the cause of it so you can try to prevent it in the first place. There are two things that we need to know about gray hair. One is that it needs more hydration, and the other, of course, is that gray hair is more susceptible to yellowing. Now is the time, while we're growing out our grays, to really reevaluate our hair care routine and keep an eye out on these changes. So before I get started, if you could please subscribe to my channel if you're interested in hearing more about the going gray process. Thank you. So I am going to be going over the different factors that could be yellowing our hair. And some of these factors are things that we can control, and some of these are factors that we can't. So when we can't control it, we need to try to protect our hair as much as possible when it's being exposed. So let's say out in the environment, your hair is exposed to the sun. Your hair is exposed to pollution and smoke. So you can't really control that, but what you can try to do is protect it as much as possible. So you may be wearing a hat or a scarf, especially if you're outside for extended periods of time. They actually even have sunscreens now for your hair. So we've heard so much about the importance of protecting our skin from sun damage. Well, now this extends a little bit further to our hair, our gray hair in particular. Another culprit is hard water. And so you really can't control what kind of water that's being plumbed into your house. So some suggestions here might be getting a water filter for your shower, or even washing your hair with distilled water. Another thing that would really help a lot is just reducing the amount of times you're actually washing your hair. So this has a twofold effect in that it helps with hydration because you're not stripping your hair as often of its natural oils, as well as with the yellowing because you're not exposing your hair then to things that may be yellowing your hair, like hard water, or even the products that you're using and the heat that you're using to style your hair. So products can actually start building up onto your hair. And then when you combine that with, say, the heat from a styling tool, what can happen is the heat will actually burn and, burn the product buildup onto your hair, which can cause yellow. My suggestion is really, really keep this very simple. And when you introduce something into your routine, really keep an eye out on it and make sure that you're not seeing any sort of discoloration changes. Heat in and of itself can cause yellowing because what it does is it actually oxidizes the proteins in your hair. So if you feel like you might be experiencing yellowing from your styling tools, the heat of your styling tools, and even the sun, please check out my video, How to Manage Your Hair While Going Gray. I go into depth more on that one particular factor. Another thing is that I really go into is the fact that we can actually be burning our hair. And when we do have our pigment still in our hair, we don't see that burn. But when we go gray, you will start seeing that's why you see the yellowing. And it can range from a yellow to actually more of a brown because you're actually burning your hair. Along with heat causing yellowing, it's also affecting the hydration because with chronic use of heat, what it's doing is it's lifting that cuticle, and then there's water loss. So then your hair becomes more dehydrated. The best thing to do is really try to minimize that heat exposure. You can use heat protectors, maybe really check the settings, see if you can still style your hair with less heat. The less heat you subject your hair to, the better off you'll be. Another thing to know is that if your hair is hydrated, it's going to be stronger and it's going to be less susceptible to that yellowing. So we really do want to make sure that our hair is as hydrated and as healthy as can be. Another thing that could be discoloring your hair, and you'll get these really odd discolored pieces, is the accessories that you're using. So let's say some of those hair bands or whatever that are covered with dyed material, that dye might be transferring to your hair. So that's another thing to just kind of keep an eye out for. Some other factors are genetics, medications, even medical shampoos that you might be using, supplements. So all of these could possibly be affecting your grays as well. As you can see, there are many reasons why your hair could be yellowing. So you really do have to start being aware of what your hair is exposed to and come up with a game plan so that basically, the first thing, prevent if possible, protect when exposed, and then combat when necessary. It's such a shame to go through the challenging process of transitioning your hair, to gray, just to then turn around and have it yellow. So we do have a couple of products that we can use to combat the yellowing if we can't prevent it. And one of them, of course, is the purple shampoo. That really does help brighten your hair as well as tone any sort of brassiness. Another thing is clarifying shampoos, which will actually help with getting rid of any product buildup, which can also lead to yellowing. But I do want to preface this by saying that both of these shampoos are drying. So you really want to use those as, just as necessary. Another thing that you could do is tone your hair. And so that might give you that added punch, maybe to get rid of the brassiness as well. Please check out my toning tutorial where I show you just how easy it is to tone your own hair at home. Let me know if you have any questions regarding this. Leave those in the comments below, and subscribe, share if you know anybody who might be interested in this topic as well, and give me a thumbs up, and I hope you have a great day.